And so to the final frame of the first session
Judd Trump to break.
of the final of the second Home Nations event of the season here on Eurosport. The Northern Ireland Open final certainly living up to its billing with interest. And if Judd Trump was the happier to be 2-all at the interval, Ronnie O'Sullivan will now be delighted to be 4-all at the end of session. He's been outplayed since the break. 3 centuries in total from Trump. And this frame, needless to say, very significant. Can Trump take a 2-frame cushion and get within 4 when they resume at 7 o'clock tonight? By the way, another cameraman has bitten the dust during the commercial break. Ronnie not happy with one of the snappers in his line of vision, even though he wasn't playing a shot.
A terrific pot, but he knew it was kind of just about almost getting himself out of a little bit of a hole there by getting first safety shot in.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
It's been a very good session of snooker, and to be honest, it's got better all the way through. The standard they're playing at now is as good as it gets, really. Trump especially so.
The audience absolutely engrossed, and no wonder. A real treat on finals day.
Always felt that the black could come into play for any safety shots that were played on that left side of the bunch. He's not left a very easy starter, though. I mean, as well as he pots, this is not a particularly nice shot, especially, I would say, for a left-hander. It's like an awkward place on the table, as you can see. Fairly uncomfortable. Yeah, an annoying place on the table occasionally where you don't know how to put your bridge hand. Sometimes when the cushion is in the way. Nothing feels comfortable. Well, it foreshortened the distance between the two reds, that camera angle, didn't it, from the side? They're quite a way apart.
And that's why Ronnie O'Sullivan sat back in his chair shaking his head, because he knows you just cannot leave this guy anything from long range. He will gobble it up.
It's a tremendous shot again, the way he struck it. And yep, sometimes even O'Sullivan comes up against somebody who can do things that perhaps he can't do. Trump has always been an amazingly good long ball potter. Now is he on one?
The body language would suggest not, and there's confirmation.
8.
Yes, I mean, to go for this red, it's not an open pocket. It's a smaller target to aim at. You might not fancy it quite so much as the others. Good to see he's got it all back though, because for a while we haven't really seen the best of him. It's almost like people have forgotten how good a player he is, I think.
Well, that didn't go to plan, clearly.
I don't know what he played there. That was very odd.
It was almost as though he changed his mind mid-shot.
Been seeing his praises, then he plays probably the worst shot he's played all week. If he went for the pot, it was not very convincing.
Quite a long way off, though. If O'Sullivan were to lose this frame, he's hardly out of it. Of course he isn't, but it would mean he'd be under quite a bit of pressure on the resumption tonight, because were Trump to win the first of the evening as well, 6-3 down in a race to 9, with the way Trump's queuing at the moment, would take a fair bit of retrieving. And traditionally, of course, O'Sullivan not especially used to coming from behind. He prefers to do his damage from out in front. And that's very nicely cued.
Yeah, the flow of this frame, though, is not quite there, in that both players have potted good balls without it amounting to an awful lot. Well, he's looking at this pink to the middle, going through some reds. This is difficult.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Yes, a lot riding on that one. He knew he was leaving Trump something if he missed, which made the shot that much trickier.
One. Six.
Not ideal, with black currently out of commission.
No, it's the kind of situation we could get top side of the blue at some point. You can imagine him going into the bunch, freeing the whole lot, the reds, the black, everything. But can he get there?
Yeah,
Well, not
sure.
from that shot.
7.
asking for the cue ball to be cleaned. I feel this is an important part of the match, as you say. The possibilities of Trump taking a lead into the night session is probably what he would hope and feel he deserved, given how well he's played. Anything else would be okay, but it wouldn't have made any inroads into the match. So this frame, you feel he would really like to win more than anything. It's been a very entertaining session. There's been very few errors on both sides. Now he's got that angle. Now he can really get into
10.
the reds. I think the black could get opened up. He couldn't have a better angle on the blue to do it.
Well, time and time again we've seen reds disappear with the blue in that kind of scenario, but
15.
to the relief of Trump, I suspect his heart skipped a beat for a moment. It stays out.
Yeah, I think he'd probably like not to take the red over the hole, but it might be that it just clears the decks to that pocket a bit easier. If he plays the red to the middle, I'm not sure whether the pink goes past the red over the pocket. That's the problem he has.
Sixteen. Eighteen. Thank you. 19.
He's just got to be a bit careful here, playing the natural path for the up and down shot, being away from its spot like that, so he's going to have to avoid that happening. Play with pace. This has got promise. It's a pretty good effort, I thought.
24.
Would he dare risk the red next to the black up into the top right pocket? Seems an awfully difficult shot. I mean, it's on, but you can imagine the damage he would do should he miss it. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Okay, he played it with an element of taking the cue ball away from the danger end. And also a bit extra on this green as well, again heading down towards the reds. Once again, you feel that if he plays this green, it has to go in. All that hard work will be undone. Oh, that's on the red in the middle.
28.
Just when you think Trump is running out of position, he keeps potting balls. Goodness me, what a shot again.
29.
That's fabulous stuff.
Well, he's moved into a new gear since the interval. He is potting them off the lampshades. Ronnie O'Sullivan said he might need to wear a crash helmet. He needn't have worried. They're all going in the pocket.
Well, this is reminiscent of the kind of break the man this trophy is named after.
34.
Seen Alex Higgins make many an unconventional, spectacular, brilliant break.
$35.
Sometimes for opponents playing O'Sullivan, the challenge is to play in their same fluid fashion as they would against anyone else. And Trump, as we look at that magnificent Waterford Crystal Trophy, named in honour of the great man, Trump is certainly doing that. He's brought his A game to the party today, but he's still got some work to do to take that 5-3 interval lead.
Yeah, and if he can finish it off, then it'll be very satisfying. Just a glimmer of hope for O'Sullivan then. Just when you thought that he wasn't going to miss anything.
40.
The way he played it with pace, for once, I wonder if that was the right option. How can you criticise the way he's been playing?
That was some break of 40, wasn't it? A couple of really gutsy pots, the red into the green pocket and then the green itself, and then the red to follow. But still enough there for O'Sullivan. And nothing safe.
No, nothing safe, but not an easy escape route back to baulk here. The black where it is, it's stopping the obvious thin safety. There's no obvious shot here. He's got a clear shot of the red, but he can't hit an edge of a red. And his biggest concern is that everything is in the open play. And if you leave O'Sullivan one chance, I feel he might clear. So it seems a big moment, actually, even though it's only still first session of two sessions.
Well, I think it's got to the stage now where Trump would be properly exasperated not to come out of this session with the lead, because he's certainly been the stronger since the interval.
Well, he might just try here to get that cue ball up the table with a deep screw shot, try and mess the table up a little bit. Oh, it's a very risky option. Goodness me. I don't know how he could get that up the table playing it that way. He's played off the cushion with side to hit a thin red. Wow, that was tough. Well, this now feels a very tense segment of a frame. Possibly with more importance than just chalking up one more psychologically. A big blow. If he can win this somehow.
Yes, because O'Sullivan has been hit with some
9.
seriously big punches in the second half of this first session. So if he can emerge with no real damage done and parity once again, he'll be delighted. His opponent will be wondering what he's got to do to get a lead. Because he's played some outstanding
16.
snooker, Judd Trump. He really has.
17.
Well, the red, of course, is not so easy as all that to get on, but he's got the obvious way, left middle. Keeps everything simple. That is a more difficult way, but he has struck that beautifully.
24.
Well, the break and the clearance is on now. He's got to get himself weighted in behind the yellow. Just overhead a touch.
31.
He needs the lot.
$33.
He's overcooked that one a little bit, hence the need for the rest, which makes life that little bit more awkward. And it wasn't clean. It wasn't clean, but it dropped.
36.
Sullivan's turn for a heart in the mouth moment.
This time I think he's perfect. Don't think he has an awful lot to do to get in behind the blue, behind the pink I should say.
$45.
Well, he's got used to that springy bounce. It's a tremendous session of snooker. And a big final frame of it.
This session started
51.
with a black ball finish. Judd Trump pinched the opener. And it's finished with one. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has the last say in what was a sensational session of snooker. And I think O'Sullivan's expression tells the story. He's got out of jail a bit there. Judd Trump hit him with a barrage of breaks, but in the end, he has nothing to show other than parity. It's level pegging going into the finale. It's 4 each.